Welcome to Mornings with the Mayor. As always, we have a great show today lined up, and this is all about education today, which is one of the most important things that we can talk about in this day and age. And we have with me today a very special guest, Stephanie Shanblatt, who is the president of Bucks County Community College, has just taken over 6 months ago. And I had a long relationship with Jim Lynch, your predecessor, that has been there for 20 years, Jim. And you've taken over now, and you're immensely enjoying your job. You're beaming about it.
I am. It is a wonderful school. I am thrilled to be there. It's a wonderful community. Everyone has been very welcoming and very helpful, and I'm just enjoying every single day.
Well, Bucks County is a beautiful place to start.
It's a gorgeous place.
It really is, and I know you came from Michigan.
I came from Michigan. I am originally from Pittsburgh, though. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so from the state. It's nice to be back in the Keystone State.
Well, welcome back.
So,
but you come from a community college
I do.
background.
I spent most of my career at a community college in Michigan, you know, in various roles, moving all the way up the chain as it was. So community colleges really are, I'm very passionate about community colleges. I care very deeply about our mission, which is an open access mission. That means any student that wants to come to our college can come to our college. There are no admissions requirements and that sort of thing. We take everyone. And that's really important for students who perhaps didn't do well in high school but want a second chance, or students who may be older and realize now at this point in their life they need some additional education.
Well, I think it meets a couple criteria.
Absolutely.
I think you have youngsters or even out of school for a while come back to school, and they have a direction. They could either come back there and go directly to work.
That's correct.
Or they can go on and further their education.
That's right. The majority of our students do go on to a four-year university. We do a very good job of preparing them to be successful wherever they want to go. Temple is our biggest transfer partner, but certainly students go to many other colleges and universities. But we also have a group of students who really want to come in and learn a skill or an occupation or a career such as nursing. And they can come to Bucks and get their RN degree and then go right into the workforce with a great paying job. Yeah,
that's what I mean. There's directions you can take that youngsters or whoever goes back to school actually have opportunities to go right into the workforce. I like that part of it because not everybody is going to go on to have their education further. And RN's not a bad way to go.
It sure isn't. It sure isn't. And we also have some short-term training programs that are 3 or 4 months long. So if you really need to get in, get a skill, get out, get a job so that you can support your family, we have those opportunities as well.
Well, you know, I was on the foundation board for many years.
Yes, I
and
know.
I know the college and the great job that they do. And I know many youngsters that come out of our school here in Bensalem.
Yes, you're one of the top schools in terms of the numbers of students that come from Bensalem and go to Bucks, whether they go to our main campus in Newtown or our lower campus. We have 2 new beautiful campuses, one in Bristol and one up in Percy. And so students don't really have to travel too far in the county to get to one of our locations, and they can take you know, many courses at either the lower campus or the upper campus. There are certain things that we do only offer in Newtown, so you may spend a year at the lower campus in Bristol and then have to come up to Newtown to finish up. That sometimes happens to students. But it certainly is a great place for students to get started.
Yeah. And Stephanie, I think you're kind of local. Do you live in Doylestown?
I live in Doylestown,
so you live and breathe our great Bucks County, which delights me.
Well, it's a wonderful place to live. Why wouldn't someone want to live here?
I agree 1,000%. By the way, you could have lived in Bensalem. We're one of the best cities in the country to live. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. It's a lovely place.
Money Magazine just named us.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's
wonderful. We're very proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
You know, if anybody hasn't ever visited that campus, it's magnificent. It's the old Tyler Estate.
Yeah.
And every time I used to go into the main house.
Yeah, the Tyler house.
Oh my goodness gracious, I couldn't get over it.
It's quite amazing. I remember my first interview, and I thought, my goodness, I can't imagine that this is a community college. You know, it looks like an Ivy League school or something.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
It's really beautiful. And you know where Tyler Park is? Well, this is part of that. The campus is part of that whole.
Yep.
I think it's over 1,200 acres.
It's a lot of acres. Yeah, we have about 200 acres.
Yeah.
And we have some land that doesn't have buildings on it, which is nice. We have a little buffer, and then we have the park behind us.
And, but I think they have open houses there. I know you have all kind of food tasting.
We do. We have Tyler tasting every June. We do have student open houses a couple times a year.
Anyone coming up soon?
Anyone that's interested. We just had one. So, but if a student is interested in attending, they can always call our admissions office and come and visit the campus at any time. They don't have to wait for one of these regular
do the schools run anything like that? Do any of the schools?
Some of the high schools do bring students over. Oftentimes, students will come with their parents or with their, a friend, and come and visit. We had over 400 students at our last open house.
Oh wow!
So prospective students. So they're very interested in the school. It's a great value. When you compare the tuition at Bucks to the tuition at a four-year school, even a state school, it's tremendously different. You can save a lot of money and get a first-rate education.
I think you said you prepared them very well.
We do prepare them very well. They do at least as well or better as students that start at a four-year school when we look at their success as juniors in college. So
now, the portability today is, you can't get a better start in education. You can't at the community college. And like I say, I know our school district here, you get many youngsters to come up there.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that it's a great education and that they can afford to go right into it.
They can. And if they can't afford it, financial aid is available.
Yeah.
So for those students whose families are really struggling or who may be on their own struggling, we do have, financial aid and help.
Tell us a little bit about the curriculums of what, I know we talked about if you wanted to be an RN.
Yes, we have over 80 programs of study, so I can't really talk about all of them.
No,
but we have everything from the fine arts. As you know, Bucks County is a real center for fine arts.
By the way, we have an amphitheater right outside this building.
Yeah.
So you must attend some of those.
I will. So we have a wonderful fine arts program, fine woodworking, we have sculpture, ceramics, glass blowing, all sorts of fine arts. We have the only historic preservation program at a community college in the country.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well,
documents and things like that?
Or buildings. It's more about buildings.
All about buildings?
How to preserve an old building, what you should and shouldn't do. We have a relationship with, it's actually an online program, so students can take the courses online from all over the country. We have individuals who work for the National Park Service who manage the National Historic Sites who take our program of study in historic preservation. So we're very proud of that program. It's very unique.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
That is unique.
Yes, it's very unique. So we have that. We have traditional programs like accounting and business that many students are interested in.
Sure.
And the regular transfer program, students that want to come and just do the first 2 years, some of them may not even be sure what they want to major in. And that's okay. You can come and take what we call your general education courses that get you prepared to transfer. The writing and the math and science and psychology and the regular college freshman and sophomore courses that we all remember.
What's some of your challenges that you face as just being there? Some of the things.
Sure. Well, certainly we face budget challenges all the time. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's expensive to run a college. It's expensive to run a college, and we certainly appreciate all the support we get from the state and the county. But budget time is still always a challenging time, and we try to keep tuition affordable, so there's always a tug there. We're also looking at upgrading some of our facilities, particularly our science facilities. I'm sure you know, so many of the jobs in the near future will be in the science, math, and engineering fields, and we have lots of students very interested in those fields, which is great. But we need to update our science facilities, some of our laboratories. So we're hoping to do that in the next couple. It costs money. So we're hoping to do that in the next couple of years so that we can be sure our students are learning with first-rate equipment. And
I know one of the people I talked to at one of the college, university actually, talked about that the medical field has changed. We talked about nursing.
that
the medical field has changed and that where they used to do it in the hospital, some of these, the studying part of it with the laboratory stuff, now they're not doing it that way. They actually have to be done at a classroom at a university or so that's very expensive.
It is expensive. Our nursing students spend a lot of time with mannequins that are called Sim Man or Sim Woman. They're simulated, and so when you do something to them, they respond. They have all sorts of computers and wires inside of them, and so they do a lot of their early learning on these mannequins that simulate a patient, and you can do all sorts of procedures on them and whatnot, but they're very expensive.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine. What do you see in the future? What do you see in education at the college?
I really see it as a place where people can come throughout their life, whether they're interested in learning maybe a new hobby. Maybe they want to learn how to do watercolor. Maybe they just need that new certification, and maybe they need their first step. It's a place everybody can come. It's really the one place in the whole county where we sort of have something for everyone, and we hope that everyone in the whole county feels that the college is theirs.
But I can tell you firsthand, it's one of the jewels of Bucks County.
Yeah, it is.
We're happy to have you here. We're delighted. And I think that you're going to enjoy Bucks County as much as you enjoyed Pittsburgh. And I know it's going to be better than Michigan.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm going to give you the last word.
Well, thank you. It's a joy to serve everyone in Bucks County. It's wonderful living here. The college is wonderful, and there's such community support for the college that I've been very moved by that. So I encourage everyone to take a look at the college, even if you don't have someone or a child or a family member interested in attending. Come by sometime. We have lots of cultural events and arts events. We have a jazz concert coming up this Thursday that's free. That's a great concert this Thursday.
What's the date, just in case? What's the date? Today is the 16th.
The 18th. The 18th. And so there's just always something going on. We have a cultural events calendar on our web, and it's easy to find. So, you know, if you're looking for something to do with your family, you know, there are lots of great things to do at the college, in addition to take classes.
And they can go online, and like I said, I was on the foundation board for many years. And if you want to go online, find about the foundation, there's ways that you can give some of your inheritance to the college.
That's correct.
And there's a lot
we'll wait for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways, and you can earn interest while you're doing it.
That's right.
But I advise everybody, honestly, we're talking about education, take a good look at Bucks County Community College with their satellite campuses. And Stephanie, it's been a pleasure. I met you a few months ago.
Yes, yes.
And I knew the challenges that you have, and you're enjoying them.
Oh,
so that's a great thing.
It's great. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
God bless you.
Thank
and
you.
Keep up the great work, and I'll see you at the college, hopefully.
All right. Thank you.
Till next time, everybody. God bless.